story just came out that I think is relevant to us, and it's about MoviePass.
I found this, and I meant to say something to you about it like 2 days ago, because I thought it was pretty interesting, the whole MoviePass thing. But when I came across this article, I knew that they tracked our data, but I didn't know it was that extensive. They literally spoke on how they actually track you from the moment you leave your house till you get to the theater, and then as well when you leave the theater to where you go next.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. So we talked about MoviePass quite a bit, and just so if you don't know, it's a really cheap service. It's $9.95, and it allows you to watch one movie at the theater a day. So basically an all-you-can-eat movie buffet is kind of how I like to describe it. The MoviePass CEO had an interview with Media Play News, and basically they were talking about how they're trying to take this service that really seems like should be losing a lot of money and how they can make it profitable. And what Mikey just said just came out, that they have been tracking people's, or at least either they are or are planning to track how people are traveling to movies and them leaving movies, and kind of like where they're going and that sort of thing, and seeing how they can profit off that data. The problem with this is it really wasn't clear that that's what they were doing. We knew they were data mining, but we didn't know that they were tracking our whereabouts.
Well, reading a lot of the comments, it didn't even seem like people were mad that they were actually doing it. They were more mad that they weren't clear about it to begin with, which I found interesting. I felt like if you were fine with it, if it didn't seem like a big deal that they were actually doing it, then why are you upset that they weren't clear about it? I mean, they had to make revenue somehow.
Well, that's where I'm kind of like a little weird about it, because like we knew they were data mining. So like, and this is, I kind of assumed this was something that they would do, but it was the first that we've heard about it. And it says in the terms and conditions something about like real-time location data. They will use it as a means to develop, improve, and personalize the service, which is pretty vague and could mean basically anything they want it to mean. So it's kind of a weird day. But here's my problem with this, Mikey. I want to get your thoughts on this. So they say they're going to be tracking you going to the theater and leaving the theater. The problem is MoviePass, for most theaters, they shouldn't know you're watching a movie or going to a movie until you get there, because you have to purchase it at the theater. And this is something I haven't seen any article comment on.
I was about to say that literally tells me that they're tracking me all day. I mean, they've worded it in a way to make it seem like it's only when around theater activity, but that tells me that they're tracking me nonstop. I mean, otherwise, how would they know?
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Yeah, I totally agree with you. To be honest, like I am a customer of MoviePass. This to me is not something unexpected. I would want some clarification on why they're tracking me on the way to a theater if they don't even know that I'm going to be purchasing the ticket or going to a theater until I actually get there.
A little more transparency, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line here. I think they're definitely not the first app to track our data, because at the end of the day, I mean, this tracking of our data is what makes things more convenient for us. That's how things like Google Assistant and searching on Google, or Amazon searching, or ads that are relevant to you on Facebook become so much better for you, whether you realize it or not, is because they're tracking your data. So I don't think it's such an awful thing. I just wish they had a little more transparency.
As a customer, I don't really care that they're using my data to profit off me, because they're offering a service that adds so much value to my life at such a cheap price. I'm kind of okay with it personally, but yeah, I agree with you. I want some more transparency, and it does make me a little bit frightened that if they were doing this whole time, or they're doing this now without really consulting or telling anybody, then, what's to stop them from being more heinous, or what's to say they're not already being more heinous with the data that they're collecting. But I kind of think it's an interesting future if we have more and more companies like this popping up that is offering a super cheap service that can offer a lot of value to life, and then try to offset the cost with collecting data. I think that's a cool business model to me. But again, transparency, as you said, is king. Oh, in their terms and conditions, they do say they will not sell your data. So that is a step in the right direction. They are only going to use it to profit inside their company. That makes me rest easy. I probably should care that they're using my data more flippantly than they're saying they are, but it really doesn't bother me that much, to be honest.
I did read somewhere that they were trying to create a whole movie night experience, not just help you get to a movie. They're trying to create the whole experience. To recommend restaurants in the area, maybe a bar afterwards or whatever, to actually create a whole movie trip instead of just going to see a movie.